What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 31, picking up from Fort Height West. So, before we get going this episode, I did want to give a brief recap as I do find this to be important. After Liurnia, we had access to your first two underground areas. Now, these are your starting underground areas. So, we did go ahead and clear all of Ansel River, then all of Sulphur River, everything that we could have done. With that, once you have taken out Radon, he is no longer holding back the stars, so meteors crash to the Earth, and then you'll notice that there's these Stalbar craters. So that's how you're going to gain access to the rest of your underground areas. Now, once you get into the later underground areas we're about to start working through, you're going to get into Ronnie's questline, Fia's questline, Dee's questline, Blythe, E.G., Rajier. We spent a whole episode making sure all of our NPCs are lined up and ready to go. Otherwise, you're gonna have to kind of stop progressing, then talk to them. So we made sure all this was ready. So with that, we're gonna be heading on down. So Starfall Crater can be hard to see sometimes when you start working your way on down, and you can die to fall damage. Just be very, very cautious. There's most definitely a specific way they want you to take. What you're going to do is just follow this around. Eventually, you'll see a lower platform to land on. So we're going to drop. And once you drop down to this island, make sure you take a left. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see. It's really foggy and everything else. So just be very, very careful. You will not be able to use torrent past this point. There's also a few other things to note for your underground. If you're going for a platinum, they have to be done. Otherwise, they are considered to be optional. With that, some of the best items in the game are here. I mean, you're going to come out of here with so many upgrades for weapons and spirits and, everything else. You want to make sure to get these done. Also, since this is underground, the crafting ingredients are going to be very specific to this area, so I'd make sure I get as many as I can. You're not really going to find them anywhere else. Maybe a few things, but for the most part, not really. Aside from that, all of your bell bearings to get infinite amounts of your ghost glowverts to upgrade special spirit summons will also be down here. So you're going to have to get those, all those bell bearings so that you can upgrade the spirits that you want. So I just want to make sure we mention that so you guys are picking up everything that you're gonna need. So Golden Moon 5, you're gonna see your little pillar. That's your drop spot. So we're gonna drop, drop. Now typically there's like areas behind you where you'll want to try to grab items. For the time being, we're okay. You've made it to Nokron, the Eternal City. Really, really cool area. In fact, once I get to this point, this is where the game really starts for me. Like, this is where it becomes really good. Twice as good as the first half. So we're going to run and jump. Well, technically, we're not even halfway through. But you know what I mean. So what you want to do is just run off your battle mat, right where you drop, just run, and jump over this way. This is going to lead to a very, very unique torch. Now, if you can't get it and you're tired of doing that run back, I don't blame you. It's just a torch, although it is very unique. It's going to do physical damage, magic damage, and it also builds up frostbite on the enemy. So it's going to be for an intelligence build, but really cool. I mean, honestly, you only need 14 and 4, so anybody could use it. Just throwing a few levels in. Now from there, we're going to take out Balabi. These are actually, I think they're called tiers. And what they really do, mimic tiers kind of is what they are. Some of them are a little bit more powerful where they can take your shape and make a clone of you. So they have whatever you have and, they'll attack you. But typically they're kind of like this where they're just firing projectiles at you, so it's not that bad. There you go. Get them down. Grab your rune arc. Now we're ready to progress. Get him. Get him. Hey, give it. Alright, then to progress, what you're looking for is just this little window. So this is one of the areas I was talking about where I'm like, hey, behind you, you could possibly pick up items. So just be observant. Oh, right there, Somber 5, I'm sorry, Smithing 5. Some multiplayer stuff, and then we're looking for, yep, right here. So we're gonna drop, turn around. That's the other thing too. You're gonna get a lot of runes, and most of your larval tiers for respecting your character, like 90% of them, are down here. Now these guys don't seem like much. You put them down fast, but they can stack up damage so bad, like so quick, man. Because they're using Ghost Flame, and so it's like it's got cold fire, if you will. Magic damage, still gets physical off, and that frostbite procs. I mean, it doesn't take much from to put you down. You finally made it to Side of Grace. If you die from this point, you don't have to worry about running all the way back down. Thank God, right? Alright. Now, since we go out, what we're going to be doing is just making a big loop around. But first, we want to just run straight on in. We'll get him. Then you're going to get your first Ghost Globe Bell Bearing. We're going to get him down too. Now, they're pretty good at using that shield. It protects them quite well. Which you can get that to drop if you guys want to farm them, or you might just get lucky and get it. Ooh. Stop it. Oh, I ain't kidding. I told you, they'll stack up that damage. Usually I don't get this much trouble from them, but... Thank you. Thank you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start on the left and just, like I said, do a loop around. However, before we do that, because this is kind of off on its own, if you were to go out the, go down the stairs to the right hand side, you can wrap around this building for a quick few items. Should be one guy. Yep. That shield is so damn good, bro. Now, silver fireflies we find in the above regions, but like I said, there's only a few resources like that that are down here. Most of it, very unique stuff. Get done. Start now. Ghost 3, Ghost 4. Ooh, I didn't even see him till the last minute. Actually, when I saw that flash, I thought it was a Ghost Globe Where I was like, what the fuck? Alright. Yep. So now we're good. We'll jump over to the left-hand side. Then we'll just kind of do our loop. Because like I said, that's just kind of by itself over there. Otherwise, we're like zigzagging all over the place. Which we still kind of are, but you know. Doesn't really matter which path you take as long as you get it all. Somber 4. We have this asshole. Damn. Go down already, fucker. Nascent butterflies. Those are very, very unique. Pretty rare. Actually, probably one of the more rare crafting ingredients. Alright, so from here, you can see this back little corner and then this building. So what I like to do first is just clear the building out. And remember I said earlier too that you're trying to respec your character and try a bunch of stuff out. There's only 18 respec items in the game. Whether you buy them, you can't farm them. So whether you buy them, find them, you know, whatever the case is, there's only 18 altogether. And 90% I'd say are about down here. You know, there's only a few in the above world. There's a few. You probably get like 5 or 6 up there. So I guess I was wrong, not 90%, but good 70%. Most of them are down here. So that remains true. Gloveworts, go across for our ashes, do herb. Okay. So right here, you get like 5 or 6 of these guys. That's your Great Shield Soldier ashes. That's these guys. They're like throwing frostbite at enemies. They're hiding behind a shield. It could be quite nice because they're actually protecting themselves from the damage. They might actually stay alive a bit. And since I believe summons are more of a distraction more than anything else, someone that could stay alive is better than someone that could actually do damage, because we do the damage, right? So we just need someone that will stay alive more than anything else. Alright, so now that we are caught up there, start working our way down. So in Caelid we had the Night Sisters, the Night Maiden. And it felt like a really easy boss fight, but when they come to be a basic enemy, and they are, mainly in the underground, they're much more formidable. And as soon as you see one, you'll know who I'm talking about. They have like the great hammer, I'm not the great hammer, they have like a hammer or a sickle that was on a whip. That's these ladies right here. Stay aggressive, you know, don't play with them. And as soon as we go down, we're going to go to the far left hand side. Yep, right here. It's glove work. Golden 7. And we're going to shoot for the center. Now, right here is a larval tier, but up top there's a few enemies hanging, so I'll like just run through, grab my stuff, come grab crafting. By the time you do that, they're kind of ready to be killed. Get them off. Okay. They're very slow at dying, so sometimes you just want to be sure. The only thing back here is a nascent butterfly, but like I said, they're really rare, and almost always they're underground. Sometimes you'll find them above ground, but it's exceedingly rare when that, you know, if that's going to happen. Grab melted mushroom. Now, once you drop, you're about to go to this boss fog. Make sure to look behind you, because right here, I've missed this item more times than I can count. Grab a room. Alright, guys, so your next fight is your mimic tier. So, like I said, some of those little blobs you're seeing, there's Tear Husk. Well, they are actually what's called a mimic. So that means they'll turn into a version of you. So whatever you have, they have. So think about that. Whatever you have, they have, right? So if you have nothing, what do you think they have? Nothing. So for the walkthrough, I'd suggest just going in here with nothing at all. And then once he spawns in, he can't adapt. So that's when you just put on your stuff. So he's going to be a mimic of you right now. Now I'm doing some testing here. I've always, you know, thought to take off my weapons. Well, the second play, the first obviously didn't know. But I never tried taking off my health. I'm going to see if that gets rid of his heal. He only has one heal, but still. Now, you can just slowly get your stuff. He'll hit you 1,000 times and do virtually nothing. You'll see here in a second. It's funny. Look at your health. You know, he can't do anything. He can be annoying and dodge all around. Can't take his health away. I thought that was too good to be true, but I did want to test it because I didn't want to give any misinformation. So he'll always have his heals, so he will not have weapons. Hanging on by a thread, are you? Thank you. Super good incantation that we haven't really used. Felt like we showed off. So larval tier, we know this is an item needed for respecking, and then you have the silver tier mask, really wild helm, so it lowers your damage, not by much, but a little bit, but it gives you more arcane. You might be thinking, well, what's that good for? I mean, more arcane will give you a little bit of damage scaling, but then you lose damage, so it kind of evens out. Well, that's not really how it works. The more arcane you have, a lot of times, the more blood loss you have. So you'd be losing a little bit more damage to get blood loss off more often, and then that would, you know, in turn do more damage over time, if you were to think about it that way. So that's the intended use, in my opinion, or poison, or, you know, whatever it is that you are using. Now, with him down, you're also going to get your trophy. And like I said at the start, I'm not going to typically call it every trophy. Most are, they're obvious. They're from boss fights, or first time you fully upgrade a weapon, or go to the round table hold, or your endings, collecting talisman spirits, all that. So if you just follow along, you're going to get all your trophies regardless, but if I remember, I'll call them out. And then you got to remember, some people may get trophies at different times than others, depending when they upgrade the weapon, when they did the underground. And, you know, if people are like, wait, why didn't I get this? We're just not going to know, you know, what didn't you do? What did you do? So that's why. So once you get your Somber 5, you go straight across. You're just going to come down, grab this. Now this is similar to Joyful River. We have to light the pillars, but this time it's only 6 instead of 8, so it's not as bad. Now we're gonna get into that, but first what we're gonna want to do is take a little side route. And I would recommend just taking these guys out as you go. Now, since the world is so connected, this is kind of cool. You're gonna see essentially like a castle or structures over here. If you were to pull up your map, it's actually Mogwin's palace. Pretty cool, right? But with that, this guy's gonna give you just backstory lore about Mogwin's palace. So if you didn't do Varda's quest, you might not ever find Mogwin's palace, because the only area to get to it is there's a transporter that's way in Consecrated Snowfields. Consecrated Snowfields can only be accessed if you find a very hidden area. So, that's why these things are so important to do. Now, before we start doing the area, like I said, what we're going to do is just roll on down and do a side area. So over here is going to be a Smith and 5. I'm going to pick that up. Where's the other one at? Oh, it's the lower section. Yeah, it's down there. Okay. Almost looks the same. Now you can go and grab Torrent, but I wouldn't use Torrent. I think this is easier on foot. I mean, to each their own. If you could do this drop on Torrent, you're better for it, but it's really easy to overshoot, so I like to do it on foot. So you're going to see it kind of slope down. There's going to be a wall, and you pretty much just got to walk off, but it can be a bit tricky. You see that? We almost overshot it just by walking off, so just be cautious. And we're going to drop. Get to the far side and kind of run and jump here. There's a little gap. Can't really tell, but it's there. Drop. Get your talisman, another defensive talisman, which I believe this one is for. It's not the frostbite and blood loss. It's not poison and rot. It's the other one. I think it's focus. I want to say. Yeah, raises focus. And if you were to read about focus, madness. Sleep and madness, two of the more obscure statuses, which you do deal with from time to time. So if you're fighting someone that's doing madness buildup, it's nice to have. That's actually the second one you got, so it's a +1 variant. Now, as soon as you get out, if you go over here to the right-hand side and go all the way down, we can grab a Smith and 5. But, it's not much, but it's stuff. Start working towards a second weapon or a shield, unless you're going the somber route. There it is. There's nothing on the far pillar either, so don't worry about that. And right under you is actually Joyful River. That's why it looks the same on the map. It's the same map. It's just a different area. So that's what we did before, that and that. We're doing everything else now. That's what all of this is. So pretty cool how it connects. From here, though, there's no need to do anything else. We're going to jump back to Mimic Tier. I will say I hate the map layout because it's like 2 different zones and you're trying to figure out where the hell you are, right? And you got the Mimic side of Grace next to another side of Grace, which is actually nowhere near it. Very confusing because you'll see Mimic Tier, but that's supposed to Riverbank. They're like right here. They look close, but that's a way earlier zone. While they are the same area, they don't connect that way. Right, so now we're going to go on down ladder 6 pillars, do a couple little side areas, take out the boss. Now, I was originally going to take you guys to the city. It's over here. We're going to show you the path for this episode. That leads into Ronnie's quest, so if we have the time, we'll fit it in, but there's quite a bit to do down there, so it's probably going to be next episode. I just feel like it's easier to do them in order. It's much easier to do them in order just to kind of keep track. Fuck, we did rest, so we have to rekill it. It's alright. So as we go through, what we're going to be doing, killing these guys as we go. Super beefy, super tanky. You smack them in the face, most of the time they don't even care. They keep coming. Doesn't stop them, doesn't slow down, doesn't stagger them, nothing. I believe that's why they're so fucking annoying. That's why they're so annoying. Now right here is going to be your first pillar, so we'll go in like that. Now this is on the left-hand side, and that's the side that takes you out, so we're going to ignore the left-hand side for now. What we're going to do instead is go straight across. Now as soon as you get up here, we're going to go up around this hill, the tree on the hill, and you're going to be right here. You get your smithing, then we can just drop down to the far right corner for your next pillar. Try to do it in a way that we could, get all the items in one swift loop, because there are, multiple different layers and other things. We're sticking to the far right side. Where is he? Oh. I was hoping they wouldn't do this. Because usually you can get a backstab on the guys that are over there. Of it. He's still alive, still. Yeah. So there's a bigger version of them. It's the woman that you maybe saw up here, like singing. Well, she's buffing their health and their damage, so it's easier to go for her, sure, but you got to get past all them first. That's where, you know, it gets a little bit complicated, because if you get like 2 or 3 of them on you and start unleashing their combo, you're done. You know, you're just fucked. Good news is we are able to get a few of them here. Take him out. And this is the main boss, right on top of the stairs, just like the other one, where you're going to see the, not the elk, the stag, the dead stag. You light all the pillars, it comes to life, and then, you know, you get into the fight. So same thing. But since we're not ready for the fight, we're just going to ignore that area for the time being. Oh shit, that's not backstab. My bad, here. I was actually checking my notes to see the route we were going to take. So we're on the far right, where you originally came from. We're going to clear this whole area in full, and then, you know, go across to the left. So that being said, we're kind of doing a big loop to get the whole area, to make sure we're not missing anything. Really just crafting over here, so you're not missing much, but we're going to grab it. Alright, so once you go out, all the way up, you're going to get to an altar, where you stay to the far right. So that's the lady that's powering everybody up. She's down. They're not going to have as much health. Not going to have as much damage either. Now, she doesn't really have a weapon. She can throw magic on the ground with that little baby skull. But really, she just smacks you. The thing of it is her little bitch smack that she hits you with does a god ton of damage. She'll do like fucking 60% of your health with a smack. It's crazy. Alright, so we're going to go and light this pillar, then hop on Torrent. Now, if you were to go straight, you'd start seeing jellyfish. These jellyfish lead you to a whole hidden region. It's the last underground region we're going to do. It's, you know, very high level. But, as I said at the start, like, you know, the jellyfish aren't really your enemy. They're like an indication that something is around, and there's a whole fucking region hidden back. And you know what, we could show it real quick, only take a second. It's just wild. I about missed this my first playthrough. I didn't, but I about did. So if you go all the way to the cliff here, you're gonna notice it drops down, and there's all these buildings, you know, everything else. Well, that sends you to the last underground region we'll be doing, called Deep Root Depths. But yeah, that's the only way to find it, unless you find a even more hidden area at the underneath of the capital that leads back into it. So just, you know, crazy stuff. It's very well hidden. But what we want for now is just kind of work our way around the tree, get up top over here. Then we go right here, pick up Mottled Necklace +1. Mottled Necklace is another defensive talisman that kind of just helps with everything. There's no need to go under us. That's what the boss is. Still haven't even activated him. Now we got all this done. We're going to be going back near where we were, because, you know, the whole right side's done. Besides by the road. And it's not much, but there are a few items. So if we were just to get back down to the area we were, it's right here. That's your main road, right? So the whole right side at this point is done. But there is one little item like on a rock over here, just to make sure we get it all. These guys want to come for us even better. Oh, dick. What a dick. Yep, I hate them. Can't say it enough. One of my least favorite enemies. I shit you not. Not in the air. Alright, I'm getting really sick of it. Yeah, really sick of it. I try to take my time, clear it in full, and then just one fucking slip. You see what I mean? It's fucking irritating, man. So goddamn irritating. It only takes 2. That's it. Only takes 2 of them. We were sitting at about 45 and 45 levels in health because we had a great rune on. And still, that's it. They lock you down. They put you down. We're not going to be so thorough this time. Not wasting 20 fucking minutes doing the same thing again. So, the only thing we missed on that far right side was the one item on the rock. We're going to grab it. We're going to be on our way. Everything else is on the left-hand side, so no one else should even aggro. That's what I'd recommend doing if I was you guys. That way you don't have to worry about it. It'll piss you off pretty bad. Pretty fucking bad. Especially for me because, I spend the time to really clear out the area. It's not realistic to do it every single time. So it only really works if you can get it one turn. Yeah, you're dead. Yeah, you're dead. Alright. So, quickly, we're going to go grab our one item we missed. I did have like 30,000 souls, not leaving that on the table. Alright, there you go. There's your golden rune. Now, whole left side's done, whole back side's done. So if you get back to the very first pillar we lit on the left-hand side, we can just, focus on our efforts on this side of it. That's going to bring these guys closer. They want to be tough guys. God, we're just... Usually the range is really good with that spell. But we're very close. You're done. No, we're not. Oh, don't run away. Where are you going? You're tough. Hey. Yeah, you're a tough guy, remember? You're so tough. He must have forgot how tough he was. Bye. Thank you. Alright. So we are going to take them because they're, they're right there. So from here, we're going to go after Singing Lady since she wants to buff everybody up. Can't have it. Not to mention she is guarding our second to last pillar. We're almost there. There's a few other things we got to do. Where's our backstab, Dick? Thank you. Yeah, the magic will fuck you up pretty good. Alright. So as soon as you do that, if you turn around, you're going to see this rock here. To the right is where we finish up, but if you just go right in between these two, this is going to be your side of grace, and this is going to be where we're trying to access later on. So this is part of Ronnie's quest line. This whole area. You can actually run, jump off this cliff, and then start that area. So we don't want to do that just yet. How much do we need for a level? Damn, we're already at 50,000 a level. That's telling me we've done quite good. Might even be above on our levels right now. Sometimes, you do better than others. Alright, so there's a Somber 5. And there's also a Red Wolf of Radagon. I'm not fighting this prick. You guys have at it. We can pretty much just avoid him if we're lucky, depending on how it lines up. All we need is this pillar. That's gonna... Actually, that's your second to last one. Forgive me. That's your second to last one. Then if you grab that, there's a few loose loot items. Not really worth your time. There's some Beast Blood right here. I don't remember what the hell that was. Beast Blood again. And that's really it. So if you're not worried about it, fuck trying to aggro the Red Wolf. You don't get anything from him. We fought him before. You guys know how obnoxious he is. Pretty bad. So we're going to avoid him and go to the far right side. You're going to see this Black Scarab. Far right corner. This is going to be another extra work from Bozo. There's a few. The Mighty Shot. No, Enchanted Shot. Then you're going to have a few rats, and then a couple singing frogs. And besides that, you're pretty much done, aside from the boss. However, there's one other little, I hate to call it hidden, definitely side content, side area. Come on guys, let's stack up on you, man. There's so many guys just coming at you. Coming for your fucking neck, dude. Now remember how much damage everybody does. If you're not at least, like, fucking 80% of your health, you better get there. You better get there quick. One of them's not so bad. And they're actually kind of fun to parry, too. Another very solid enemy to learn parries on. What you gotta do is try to parry the smack, obviously. Alright, so this is going to activate your boss fight. You should see a note on the bottom of your screen. Powers gather somewhere and horn remains. So before we do that, we have one last area to get you pretty cool utility item. Very similar to the bell you picked up, Wraith Calling Bell. So we're actually going to get that little infant baby skull they're holding that throws magic everywhere. So it's something to play around with. Not to really be too serious about, but it's still kind of cool. So different, you know. I like different types of stuff like that. Who knows? Might find a use for it. Get our items. It should be good. Then if you go over here to the far right hand side, you can kind of climb up. I usually get over here and try to jump. You just got to be really careful. You can't swim in Elden Ring. You fall in the water, it's like falling off the cliff. Literally even looks the same. You just fall right through it. You don't have to use torrent, but I like to. Well, you actually might have to for this second jump. That's, yeah, that's a pretty good distance. You can be dangerous. Yeah, burn over time, got her. Alright, so that got you her fit. So get your infant skull. Then from here, we're just going to jump back to our newest site of grace, which will be your ancestral woods. I'm going to see if I can just pop enough for a level. This boss fight could be a dick, man. This boss he could be a dick. So it's the same boss from Soifer River. You know, same exact boss from Soifer River. However, with this guy, there's going to be like a lot of spectral deer and things like that in the fight. And the fact of the matter is he can steal their health and keep healing himself, and that could be a problem, you know, especially for newer players. Typically, I'd actually wait till later to do this. For the walkthrough, I just, like I said, felt necessary to try to do things in order of how we run into them in an underground, because it just makes life easier. We don't have to turn back for nothing. We're good to go. But yeah, usually I like to have a bit more damage. We do have our weapon at plus 17, 16, 17 right now. Yeah, 16. So I think we're okay. I would definitely use the summons for this fight. Just, you know, we all know what he does. He hops all around. He keeps his distance. And my fucking summon is so expensive, I pretty much have to summon him and then use a mana flask. That's exactly what we're going to do. I don't remember what's in my tier, but it should be Faith and Fire Boosting. Yeah, it's not opening, that's exactly what it is. So 3 jump, set down. Oh, you know what? We have not even used Flame Great even once. Let's get a power boost here to give us more damage. Oh, we got her hidden though. So that's the other thing. He's going to continuously teleport around. Now, if you had Torrent during this fight, God, it'd make things so much easier. You know, make things so much easier. Get ready for him. So stay on him, stay on him, stay on him. Okay. Not. Even if you gotta take a little damage to get a hit off, it's worth it. This guy's gonna start healing himself. You know. Yeah, look, he's still in our health too. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Pretty annoying guy. And he can heal himself multiple times, by the way. Good. Do you see how we're playing that range? If he starts escaping, we're still getting shit off on him. We're getting damn good damage. Did we get him in time? Yeah, so he started healing over Black Flame. It's doing damage over time. So, you know, as he's healing, it's taking it right back from him. Now that's actually going to be a remembrance boss. So once we have him taken out, we're going to jump back to the round table hold. He does give you one thing that's okay. He gives you a weapon. Never been a fan of it. I'm like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, nope. But the talisman's not bad, depending on your build. Hey. So, receive power. So, if you go on down, you're going to have the Winged Great Horn, pure physical, quality build weapon, 20 dex, 30 strength. You would think it's so great. Soul Stifler, I think. What does that do? I was never interested in it. So, raise the Great Horn's wing to summon a soul sapping miasma. Enemies in the affected area will temporarily suffer from reduced defense. Okay, so it's doing what he was doing to you if you were in that area of effect. Aside from that, you also have Ancestral Spirit's Horn. I like this. This is what I'm getting. Because with this, as you kill enemies, you get mana back. I mean, what's not to love about that? Now, we only have 2 talisman slots, or 3 at this point. But, you know, I guess we could put it on that one if we start leaning more into our spells. Because I don't need +5 to Faith right now. I mean, we're at 25. I just put it on so we can be at 30-30, but seems okay. Where the hell are you? Because it seems to look like the other shit. It's different. Yeah, it's in a different spot. Now from here, what we're going to be doing is going back, but we want to jump on over to Ancestral Woods. Alright, and with that, we're going to close out a little bit earlier than usual. Typically, we'll go for an hour, but I don't want to risk running out of time before we get this next section done. So, when it comes to the underground, we're going to have one area in mind. When it's done, we're going to close out just to make sure we're always in a good spot. So, next episode, we'll be going this way. And like I said, this is going to tie into Ronnie's questline. It's some really good stuff. And then that will obviously lead into other things, other underground areas, other side areas, and we'll just, keep on trucking down the course until all this is wrapped up, and then we'll be ready for Altus. So y'all stay tuned, and we'll catch you back here shortly.